Okay, everybody, so here's an amazing exercise to strengthen the external rotators, especially the glute medius. So just to give you an idea, if you want to know what's actually the muscles that are rotating that leg out, that's external rotation. So it's the femur we're talking about, and it's rotating out. Notice the foot moves with it, but I'm not moving my foot, I'm moving my leg, my upper leg, and that just goes along for the ride. Your glute medius, if you just take your hand and put it right on the back of your butt, and then you make that external rotation, you'll feel the contraction in your glutes. And a majority of that is coming from your glute medius. So what we want to do is incorporate this now, this external rotation, into functional movement. So what we can do is, when we're doing things like squats, whether we're just using our body, so body weight squats, or we're using some added resistance, whether we're using a barbell, or a bar, excuse me, or if we're using a dumbbell, and it doesn't matter where we're putting it, if we hold the barbell to the back, what we call a back squat, or a front squat where we hold it to the front, or we're holding a dumbbell or a kettlebell, or we're using bands, and we're using bands holding them here and they go around our feet and come up. It's just added resistance. So whether it's your body weight or added resistance, perfectly fine. So what we want to do to add this external rotation into our squats, it's really going to help strengthen those external rotators. Remember, all this is about so that when the knee bends, it doesn't buckle in, right? We need this knee to stabilize and stay in this position. A lot of that's coming again from your glute medius. So let's work that muscle. So I'm going to open my stance up wider than shoulder into basically what's a sumo stance. So to find a good stance for this, if you can, by the way, so be careful with this, but everybody, not everybody can, but everybody should be able to literally squat all the way down. This is all the way down, that's as far as I can go. And it might be hard to tell from here, but my knee is lining up with that second toe. It's not collapsing in. So if you squat down and your knees are collapsing, we don't want that. You can take your elbows and push your knees out. That will actually be a nice big stretch. Okay? So the point is if you can do this, fantastic. If you can't, you don't have to go all the way down. You can just come down to about 90 degrees, perfectly acceptable, but you're still getting that lineup with the knees lined up with that second toe. So we turn our toes out to about 30 degrees instead of having them straight. So that's external rotation. So that's happening from that glute medius, among other external rotators, but that's the big one we're looking for. So we have a little bit wider than shoulder, about 30-degree turnout. You don't go all the way out into what's called a plie squat. You're not going to be a ballerina doing a plie squat like this and squatting down. We're not looking for that. Although that is full external rotation, but this is pretty challenging on your hips. So we're taking this into a functional movement, because you would never, functionally meaning the way you would do this normally if you squat down to pick something up, you're never going to do a plie squat to pick up your cat or something like that, right? Or your potted plant. You're not going to do this to try and get down there and do a plie squat. So you open your feet up, a little wider than shoulder, about a 30-degree turnout. Again, it's about being able to line those knees up with the toes. And then no matter what you're doing for your squat, whether you keep your hands here, you got a bar, you got a dumbbell, you got a dumbbell here, it doesn't matter. I'm just doing a body squat. So from here, I can go down and just lift my arms up, because my arms being forward actually a counter level to my weight going back. So it helps me stay in balance. And again, my knees are down, or my knees are out with my toe. And then I stand up. And as I stand up, I'm really squeezing my glutes at the top. Big squeeze. And then I go back down again. I can just bring those arms up. And then stand up. Nice big squeeze. Exhale on the way down for these. Inhale on the way up. Big squeeze in my glutes. And so this is a fantastic way to do this. If you're just getting started, again, you don't have to go all the way down. You can just go to 90. Okay? Any other thoughts about that, please leave a message below, but I would highly encourage you to start integrating this in as certainly a daily exercise. And then we can go into bigger things like lunges and that kind of thing, where we're doing single leg movements. But for now, try this. A sumo squat, 30 degrees out, a little wider than shoulder. Make sure you get your good knee to line up with that second toe. Just go to whatever depth you're comfortable with. Back up, big squeeze in the glutes. Let's start working on one set of 15, and then see how you feel about that. As long as there's not too much tenderness over the next day or two, then you could try it again with 2 sets of 15, and we'd like to progress you up. If you have any other questions, I know that's general, please leave a comment below. You people, I really want you to comment. I want you to feel this and then tell me if you're actually getting it or not. And if you're not, please tell me so that we can adjust it for you, okay? So until then, I will talk to you. Take good care.